What's up, RPYA family? My name is Joey. If we have not had the chance to meet, I am one of the teaching people here at RPYA. I have a quick encouragement for you guys right now. Coming out of the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes was written by a guy named King Solomon, who was the wisest person to ever live in all of human history. Throughout the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon basically declares that all of life, everything you see, is meaningless. And he applies this word meaningless to a few different things. And one of them is wisdom and knowledge. He says that wisdom and knowledge are meaningless. I want to read you guys a verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and starting in verse 16. Solomon says, "Look, I have increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I have experienced much of wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom and also of madness and folly. But I learned that this too is a chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief." And I want to highlight that last phrase, the more knowledge, the more grief. We are living in a time in history unlike any other before us, where knowledge, information is more accessible than it ever has been before. And on the surface, that seems like a good thing. It is certainly convenient to be able to just Google coronavirus updates whenever you feel like it. But the question I want to ask right now is that really the best thing for our souls? Is that the best thing for our hearts? I think Solomon would suggest that it is not. You see, you could have all the information, all the stats, all the numbers on coronavirus in your head, and that wouldn't bring you peace. All the knowledge in the world won't bring you satisfaction. That's not gonna bring your soul, that's not gonna bring your heart peace and rest. So what will? God's presence. God's presence is the only thing that is ultimately going to satisfy you. And that's what Solomon basically concludes. Like I said, you could have all the information, you could know everything there is to know about coronavirus, and that wouldn't bring you peace. Now, here's the thing. We have to stay well informed. We can't hide under a rock. But knowing kind of the latest information about how many people can be in a room at a time and checking for updates and news and stories every minute, every hour, those are two very different things. And so my encouragement to you guys is to put a limitation on how much information, media, news that you're consuming during this time. I want to read you guys one more verse. Jesus once said this. It's recorded in Matthew chapter 11. He says, "Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly." In the presence of God, we can encounter peace. We can encounter rest. It says in the Bible that God's presence is an anchor for our souls. And we are in the middle of a storm right now, and we need an anchor for our souls.